Well, Jai, we find you in Western Australia. Tell us exactly where you are and what you're up to. You look like you just worked up a bit of a sweat.
Yeah, Heath. So at the moment, I'm in Kununurra, East Kimberley region, at the top of Western Australia with my girlfriend and her family. So, yeah, as you said, I'm sweating up a bit here. I've just finished a run, and not our off-season program, but our program over this break is it's pretty solid to keep all the boys fit and ready to go for when the call is to come back.
So tell us what happened with you after round one, decisions you had to make about whether you went to where you are now, WA, or stayed in Victoria. How did you make that decision? What did the club sort of tell you?
Yeah, so the club sort of spoke to a few of us, or everyone I'm guessing, and just said, if you did want to get away and see family, now's probably a good opportunity, as we do have, it's 10 weeks off from when hopefully the start date is to when we come back. So I thought it'd just be a really good idea to get out of Melbourne and to get out of that sort of little footy bubble and sort of try and get a little bit of a fresh break and get up here. It's good weather. I can still do a bit and see Alicia's family and hang out with them for a few weeks.
And is there anyone up there that before the sort of restrictions came in a bit tighter, were you able to train with anyone or run with anyone, or you just been doing that solo?
Yes, I've been doing it solo, but Alicia's brother also plays footy, and their season's been cancelled now, unfortunately, but he's still really keen to come and have a kick with me and do a bit, so he's been helping out as much as possible, which has been really good.
I spoke to some of the other guys and they were saying that the hardest part is the skills side of it. Like, obviously, you can do the running, you can do your personal fitness stuff, but keeping the skills up with ball in hand must be really tough.
Yeah, for sure. That was probably the most thing I was most worried about coming into all of this, but having Jordan here has been perfect for me, so I can still get all my kicking done, all my sort of skill work that I need to be done.
And what's that regime like that the club has sort of given you a bit of a guideline? Is it similar or akin to what you'd have in the off season?
Yeah, really similar to the off season. So it's at the end of our off season, the running and kicking really gets a bit tougher and stands up a fair bit. And at the moment, that's the sort of running we've been doing. So the running's been really solid. I mean, when I'm notching up 10 to 12 Ks every running session, and then that's included on top of that, we've got to do some kicking as well, like you said, with and one other person. So it hasn't been easy, that's for sure, and especially up here in the 38-degree heat. But it's been good.
That running session, you said like 10 to 12 Ks. Can you give people watching an idea of how long that would take you to do? Like, what is that, an hour session of running, or is that a little bit less than that?
Yeah, so roughly about an hour. Most of my sessions so far, I've had 4 sessions this week, and they've all been about an hour to 80 minutes. So the warm-up takes a little bit. You get a couple Ks out in the warm-up, and then the main running is, anywhere between, 7 to 8 Ks. And then with your kicking and your partner kicking, where you've got to do a bit of movement and leading, it all sort of adds up in the end to about, as I said before, 10 to 12 Ks.
Is it hard to motivate yourself to do these training sessions by yourself, or is that part of why you're, I suppose, an elite athlete, that's what you guys do, that's what you get paid to do, and you just got to get out and do it?
Oh, I'd be lying if I said it wouldn't be hard to get yourself motivated, Heath, especially at this time. I mean, we've all just been through a hard pre-season, and then we've come out to play one game, and now it's like we've been thrown back into a full pre-season again. So I'd definitely be lying to say it's not hard to get yourself motivated, but then again, it is our job, and that's why we get paid to play footy and do what we do. So we have to grind it out and just roll off the punches.
How do you view everything that's happened? I mean, a young guy like yourself kind of had an amazing season last season. You're building on that. We could all see that in the pre-season that you were taking great strides. How do you view this sort of halt in your career?
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day. It's sort of, from a personal point of view, it is a bit frustrating. I mean, last year I was sort of building towards hopefully what I can do week in, week out, and then I thought over the summer and the pre-season this year I had a really good, really solid training block, and then my first few games, pre-season games in round one this year, I thought I was starting the season on the right foot, and then for it all to be cut down straight away after round one, it is frustrating. But I mean, there's bigger things in the world than footy at the moment, unfortunately. And that's, like I said, from a personal point of view, it's pretty selfish. But as long as my family's doing all right and people around the world are getting better, I mean, I really can't complain. I'm up here in 38-degree heat doing a bit of fishing, and if I'm complaining about running 8 to 10 Ks every few times a week, then so be it.
You maybe complain about the flies. You seem to be having a bit of a battle with them.
Well, I don't know if it's a fly or a spider, to be honest. So
I think it looked like a fly before, man. You mentioned before about going fishing and stuff. And can you just sort of paint a picture to us or for us about the environment up there? I've seen some photos that you've sent through, some of the spectacular sunsets and scenery.
Yeah.
Looks like an amazing place.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I love it up here. I could probably live up here one day, I reckon. It's just everything about it. It's just like a small country town that I sort of like and enjoy, and just all the fishing, the outdoor scenery is just it's amazing. Like the sunsets, as you said, the fishing, the camping, the wildlife. There's crocs everywhere. There's something to do out here all the time, and I think that's what I like about it the most. Just keeps you busy.
When you're fishing, right, because you just said there's crocs everywhere, is that on your mind at all? Because for me, that's a little bit like concerning.
Yeah, 100%, especially because we go night fishing, especially afternoon to go night fishing. If one time we're all there sort of together up the bank as the sun was setting, and then we're like, oh, we better go back to where the main group is. And then the sun set, and then no more than 2 minutes later, we'll shine on the big torch to see if we could see any croc eyes along the water. And exactly where we were on the bank, probably 100 metres down, there would have been a 4-metre fattest croc I've ever seen sitting on the bank exactly where we were. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, it scared the shit out of me. I'm thinking, fuck, not a bad place to be. Keep on your toes, that's for sure.
That is really concerning, and that's exactly what I would fear the most, mate. And of course, you catch and release, don't you, with all those fish, yeah?
Depends how big they are, Heath. So we go camping a bit, and myself, I'm Indigenous person, and Alicia's family's all Aboriginal as well. So when we do go camping, we sort of live off the land a bit, and whatever we catch and get, that's what we eat. So yeah, culturally, it's what I love about being up here as well.
There was a recent photo you put up on your Instagram. I think you had 4 fish in your hands. And I heard some of the boys were claiming that they were fake.
Yeah, that's a stitch up. Just ask Cunners. He knows. I went with him. He took the photo. He knows. He cut them up for me, actually. But I gave them all back to him.
Good on you, mate. Hey, thanks so much for your time, buddy. It's really, really good to see your face and see that you're doing well. Keep training the house down. Hopefully we'll have you back soon, mate.
Too easy, Heath. Thanks for that, mate. I'll talk to you soon.